Okay, y'all, so the GoPro went dead again. I'm waiting on a refund on some stuff on Amazon. As soon as I get that refund, I'm gonna turn around and buy another one of these cameras right here, one of the action cameras. So I was sitting in the house, minding my own business, don't want no trouble, and getting things ready for tomorrow. You know, washing some clothes and taking care of a few things I need to do around the house. And my neighbor down here called me. She's the same Vietnamese lady that I did the work for her son's house down in Fayetteville. And she's calling me. She got a few things at her house over here she wants to do. So, you know, she paid me the last time. I didn't make top dollar, but I'd made good on it, and she paid me good. You know, I'm gonna entertain her here. I gotta go. I'm gonna get my lunch, and I'm gonna stop by. And I'm gonna take you guys with me. So, yeah. Okay, y'all. So I did not get any footage, but I told her $700 to do the minimal. But if she But if I'm her, she's got 4 stumps and they're every bit, they're huge. No, excuse me, 3 stumps that are really huge. She wants to get them ground. So she got a dude there, right? That's well, he's pressure washing. I think he cuts her grass, you know. He's not very established, you know, and that's not a dig at him or nothing. That's just a fact. And so he's doing things really cheap because he doesn't have any equipment. And so when we were looking at the stump, she says, "Oh, $1,000." So then I stopped everything and I said, so I asked the guy, you know, the guy there, I'm like, "Hey, so what do you think someone would charge to grind this one stump?" He looked at me, he looked at the stump. He says, $400? I'm like, it sounds about right. Maybe $350. I said, she's got 3 of them. So, you know, we're at $1,100, $1,200 right there, and we ain't done any of the other stuff, the bamboo, moving any of the big logs through the woods or anything, you know. And so that made her say, well, I don't want to get that stump done. I don't want to get that stump done. I said, well, I'm still at $700. I said, for $300 more, you're going to get a lot more work done. And just because folks are, you know, I don't know, man. You can't just keep undermining the. You can't undermine the contractor and the know-how of the contractor. You know, and it doesn't matter what that dude says. I don't really care. He was trying to be a middleman, like I don't know her. I've done work for her a couple of times, and we always end up here. Y'all know, we always end up right here where we're at right now, where I throw a number out and she's freaking out, and you know. But if she wants to do this and that, I'll come over there for $700, and I won't touch but one of the big stumps. And that's not smart of her. That's not good business for her. $300, and then next summer she's going to call me again. I'm going to be wanting $700 or $800 more to come back over there, where she can get it all taken care of in one walk for $1,000. Some customers are just like that, man. They don't. If they can save $100, they'll think about tomorrow. You know. But I have the ability to do all of that, and she knows it. Now this guy didn't know that. He said, He says, so how much does it cost to rent all the equipment it takes to do these stumps? I said, I'm not renting anything, man. He said, oh, yeah. He was surprised that I'm able to do all that. I don't know why. You know, maybe in his world he lives in a rental world. You know, if I had to rent equipment to do it, I wouldn't even looked at the job. Because we're going to be at $1,500 or so, $1,800 to do the same thing that I'll do for $1,000. sometimes these customers, man, they, you know, and I know her, so I'm not going to budge too tough on the number. I might do a little more work over there than what I'm anticipating for the 1,000, but I'm not going to budge on the actual number. So, you know, but we'll see. It doesn't matter. And like I told her, I said, let me know either way. It doesn't matter to me. I know when she calls me to tell me if she decides to do it, she's going to try to call me and tell me, hey, think you could do it for 800, and I'm going to be at 1,000. I'm not going to do anything less for 1,000 over there. The last time I did work for her, I didn't make that good of money on it. I made money, of course I'm supposed to, but I didn't make great or nothing, because she kept, hammering down the scope. The scope was this, and then the scope went to that, and then, well, if you could just do this right here, can we take another 200 off, and all that kind of thing. I'm not going to do all that. And I'm not going to be able to I'm not going to be able to change that number. But if she wants to do 700, I'll give her $700 worth. But even her own guy there is saying, well, yeah, about probably $300 or $400 a stump, and there's 3 of them, so there's $1,200 right there, and I ain't done nothing. So we'll see what she says, but it don't matter to me. I'm not changing anything. And if she waits until after Sunday, then I won't be able to do it next week either, because I won't. Once I put everything together Sunday for the week, and I got other skid jobs to do, but she'll see. Them damn logs over there are huge, and I got big. I have a big chainsaw. And that big chainsaw, and I ain't talking about the steel one I got. I got a Husqvarna chainsaw that will accommodate like a 30-inch bar, and that would be a struggle to cut those pieces, those big logs. I don't even know if the skid can pick them up. I can move them for sure, but I don't know if I can pick them up. But she's going to try to get a deal again. What's going to end up happening, she's going to call somebody else. They're going to come over there and they're going to jump through her little hoops and say, yeah, I'll grind them stumps down. Give me $500 for everything. And then when their lawn guy, the guy that's there now, that's cutting her grass, that does her lawn work, when he runs over those stumps, they're going to be just like the stumps I was dealing with yesterday. At that job yesterday, where they just half-ass grind them, having the equipment to do all the stuff is I set my own price, really. And I hate to sound cocky or whatever. It doesn't even matter if she does, if she uses me or not. I mean, of course I want the job. It's in my neighborhood, but I got to earn on these jobs. And it will be well worth $1,000 for her to spend with me, because I'm going to make sure that everything is done correctly, and I'm probably going to run the brush cutter up in the woods a little bit to knock some of that stuff down. But she doesn't she doesn't understand all that. She'll have me, if it was up to her, I come over there for an hour for $100, and she'd be perfectly happy with that. But I ain't gonna do that. But sometimes she's between a rock and a hard place, because I know anybody with the ability to grind the stumps and get rid of everything over there, they're not coming over there for $500. She'll think they will. She'll search and she'll find somebody that says they can, but being able to deliver, nah, probably not. I don't think. I don't really like the landscaping guy getting in the middle. He trying to, I don't know, man. I've done business with her before plenty of times. I knew her husband. It's like, I don't as I was talking and telling her the numbers, she kept looking at him. Like I'm trying to rip her off, like to get confirmation from him. So she must trust him a little bit. And so when I saw that kind of body language, that kind of thing going on, I said, so that's where I'm at. Y'all talk about it and get back with me, man. I gotta go. And I left. You know, y'all converse, and this is what I'll do for 1,000. This is what I'll do for 700. You know, that's what I'll do. So we'll see. I don't care if I get it or not. I hate to sound like that, but I don't. Because I know what I bring to the table. I know that 1,000 over there, for me to come over there and spend one morning, I'm going to be able to do enough work to, you know, to change everything that they're doing over there for the better. Everything. Apparently, this I can remember when I was starting in the lawn game and I didn't have no equipment. One thing I always had was a chainsaw, and if I had been him, that landscaper over there, or that lawn maintenance, whatever, if I was him back in the day, I would have cut those logs up and drug them to the woods with my freaking lawnmower. That's where that's the difference between me and somebody else when I did not have equipment. That's how I know what it takes to do these kind of things. I've done all the things that you guys see me do with the skid steer. You know, 80%, 90% of it I've done without a skid steer. So I know exactly what it takes to do certain things. And I know that back then, for a couple $100, I would have got my saw out and I would have cut them logs and I would have pushed them to the woods with my damn mower, drug them to the woods with my truck, something where I could have kept the money. Well, they wouldn't have been calling nobody like Ray if I'm already on the job. That's the difference between somebody that's built for this and somebody that might not be built for that, because he doesn't understand that. And then for him to try to tell me, you know, what she can pay and all that, I'm not dealing with a middleman on that. She called me, so I'm dealing with her. Done business with her before, so I'm dealing with her. I'm not dealing with a third party, you know, unless it's to my advantage. And I don't know. The only thing that's to my advantage is I asked him in front of her, how much you think it costs to get these 3 stumps gone? And he said about $400 each. I said, right. So let's do $1,000 over here, and I'll get rid of all of them, and then all the other little stuff y'all want to do. Make it worthy of bringing the machine over here. And he got it then. But then he got a little attitude too, because I wasn't really trying to negotiate with him. He ain't paying. I don't want to negotiate with whoever ain't paying. I don't want to negotiate with. I'm just saying, y'all. And that's where I'm at, y'all. Deuces!